Do you have the Birkenstocks tan line on those? Can you see?
I usually charge for this.
Oh, you do? Wow.
We'll put that behind some sort of Patreon wall.
Yeah.
To get the unblurred photo of the feet.
We'll blur your cuticles. We'll do that in post.
Welcome to the Cripescast. I'm your host, Charlie Behrens. We are powered by Everlight Solar, and here is today's episode. Folks, welcome back to another episode of the Cripescast. We are talking today to the Content Machine. Content Machine, if you're not aware, it's a couple dudes from Minnesota, Tyler and Michael. Very, very funny guys. You've definitely seen their videos before. I'm guessing they've amassed, I don't know, millions and millions and millions of views. Super funny dudes. I was out in Los Angeles not too long ago, and so I went over to their place and sat down with them, and we had a real nice Midwest chit chat. So hope you guys enjoy that. Before we get to it, just want to let you know we are still raising money for Doctors Without Borders. You can find their link in the show note. You can follow them at Doctors Without Borders, and follow us at Cripescast, wherever you get your podcast stuff. And also, if you want to see behind the scenes and get a first look at shows and tickets and all that, go to patreon.com/Charlie Behrens. And yeah, ladies and gentlemen, with that, let's jump right into it. Here is my conversation with the Content Machine.
Hi, guys.
Hello.
Hello.
First of all, I like that we made the decision to go full shorts.
100%.
Shorts Kings.
You guys
Yeah.
are wearing shorts.
YouTube Shorts Kings.
I see what you did there again.
Yeah.
Damn, that Celsius really is kicking.
Yeah, it's flowing right now.
Yeah, I think what we noticed first is that I'm not wearing matching socks.
No.
That's more of a vain thing. You also have really tan feet.
I live in California now, so you know I have to have tan skin, white teeth.
Tan skin, white teeth. That's good. Do you have the Birkenstocks tan line on those? Can you see?
I usually charge for this.
Oh, you do? Wow.
We'll put that behind some sort of Patreon wall.
Yeah,
To get the unblurred photo of the feet.
that's
I'm assuming
smart.
we'll blur them.
That's smart.
Yeah, the whole time.
Yeah, you got it. We'll blur your cuticles. We'll do that in post. Yeah, these socks don't match, which is
It's close. They're close though.
They are. Life is too short, I think, for matching socks. That's been a motto of mine. Do you guys match your socks? Like when you get done with the laundry, do you ball them up? Your socks?
I match.
Recently, I've been matching. Yeah.
Really?
It's only to manipulate women into thinking I have my life together, though.
Yeah. Does it work?
It's like, no, but you know, you have to do everything you can to try to get that. But it does make it more convenient when you're like in a rush to just grab socks and you don't have to fumble around with trying to find the right pair. So
I don't know how to sit on this chair.
Yeah,
it's
sorry.
impossible to do,
Yeah.
and it's impossible to look good doing it.
I love how you're like you guys are you're just your feet aren't even touching the ground right now.
Short King. You know,
Tyler looks like a puppet. I was saying.
you're 6 feet.
I am
6'1"?
6 feet. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
Must be nice.
You're 5.
9 1/4. I literally measured myself this morning.
Did you?
Yeah.
Do you think you're gonna get to like 5'10" at all?
Yeah, there's a mark on the wall. I'm gonna start taking some HGH probably. Really start stretching.
Human growth hormones.
Human growth, yeah.
For those who don't know.
No, I knew that. I like the video of like the 6
Short future.
Yeah.
yes.
If you're over 6 feet, you get killed.
Yeah.
The original idea was to put a chainsaw at the 6 foot marker and just have everyone walk. So you're either haircut or fine or, scalped.
Yeah. It was just too hard to like get the prop or what.
It just would have been, I think it might have been a little too like graphic for people. I don't know how to exactly do it.
Yeah, we like to do everything practical around here too. So
It's
really
good.
make it up. Yeah.
Yeah.
Method.
The method acting of producing.
Yeah, exactly.
Method producing.
I'm a method horror films are really an insurance issue.
Yeah, big time.
So you guys are from Minnesota.
Yep.
And I can see that your hand is covering that Vikings.
Skull Vikings,
How's that been going? Being a Vikings fan.
Pretty bad for as long as I can remember, as long as anyone can remember. Except the 60s, there was some action.
There was.
But that's kind of the last time.
There is the Love Boat. That was some action.
That's
true.
That was
That's
some insane
true.
action. Yeah, that was good action.
Yeah.
That was on what? Lake Minnetonka?
Was it Minnetonka?
Yeah, Lake Minnetonka.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
That's sort of where we're from. Close.
Yeah.
Okay.
Not quite the lake.
Where did you guys grow up?
Hopkins, Minnetonka.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, and then, like you guys met early on, what, like fourth grade or something?
Third, fourth
Second,
grade.
third, yeah.
Yeah.
Who came over to whose house first? Who asked the other to play first?
That's a
Like,
good question.
Who made the move?
Great question. I will say, I was banned from his house first.
Oh yeah, Tyler would get kicked out of my house almost like every day.
Oh, you were one of those kids.
Well, what would happen is he would come over, we'd film videos, and my dad is like an angry Italian man. So he just did not like that we were filming in the house. So he would come home and we would like be filming and like the house would just be like a little bit of a mess. And he would just yell at us and then Tyler would just get like kicked out. Like how like, you know, in Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, how like Jazz always gets like thrown out of the house.
Yeah.
That was basically just Tyler just getting ragdoll out of the house every day.
That's great.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a Romeo and Juliet story.
I like
Of
it.
the parents, the clans clashed.
Yeah, exactly.
So your dad wasn't one of those that was like polite around kids that weren't in the family.
No, it was the exact opposite. It was pretty crazy. Like during dinner, in Minnesota, obviously in the Midwest, you have basements, but during dinner, if there was friends over, they'd have to go to the basement while we ate dinner. Like me and my dad would just eat dinner alone at the table. And the kid would not get fed. And my dad's like, it's not my job to feed other like children. So I remember like the first time I was like 13, that first time at my friend's house and they had dinner. I was like, I probably seemed like I was like an abused child, but I was like, oh, you guys are having dinner? I was like, no worries. I'll go down to the basement. And they're like, are you hungry? Do you want to eat with us? And I was like, yeah. I was like, of course. Like, that sounds great. They're like, yeah, you don't have to go to the basement. I was like, this is insane. I was like, some families like let the guests eat, you know, dinner with them. That was a huge moment in my
They're
life.
like dinner time. You're like, okay, you like go lock yourself in the kennel downstairs.
Yeah, exactly. Seriously, I was like, see you guys later. I was like, where's the basement in here? I'll see you guys in an hour.
Well, an anti-Nordic stereotype I've heard is, and his dad's from up north in Minnesota, which is very, you know, obvious Iron Range.
Oh yeah.
But like people in like Sweden and like Finland, Norway, apparently people from other countries will go there and they'll eat like that. And that's like apparently like a thing that they do.
I've never, because there's a lot of Swedes and Norwegians.
Yeah.
And I've never eaten, I've never been kicked to a basement for
That
Yeah.
means you've been dealing with people of somewhat class. You haven't dealt with someone with just absolutely no class whatsoever.
So you got, well, who was it first? Do you remember?
I don't remember.
Yeah.
I do remember watching The Naked Gun at his house.
That was
the movie.
huge.
Yeah.
That was
Sucker
sort of-
Brothers, they're from Wisconsin.
Yeah.
Zucker Brothers. Yeah, they
Yeah.
are. They did Airplane.
Yeah, Airplane.
Yeah. Scary Movie 3?
Did they
Scary
do
movie, yeah, the Scary
did the
Movie
third
3
one.
and then
Wow.
The Naked Guns. And yeah, that was a huge influence actually for us. We would watch The Naked Gun like a lot.
Yeah, it's a great movie.
Yeah, kind of can't, one of those movies I can't believe like our parents let us watch it at the age that we were watching it at. But yeah, totally got into our brains and influenced the way that we lived our life.
Yeah. I mean, that humor too of basically it's unexplained humor that's just jump cut in.
Yeah,
is
yeah.
very similar to like what a lot of social media videos are.
Yeah, 100%. It's not connected to anything, completely random. It is funny how that's back in style, but I don't know. Sometimes I feel like you still see it. Like sometimes in our videos, I feel like you see the completely like wacky, crazy, like little background thing or whatever that is like from The Naked Gun. It's just like this, they have so many little moments that are super funny. Like when they're like, there's a scene where they just walk to the next room and like Wesley Nielsen he just goes to the outside of like the set and just like he doesn't go through the door. He just goes to the outside. And it's like just like a random second for no reason he does that. Just like little things like that. It's like, oh, that's so funny.
Yeah, just wacky, goofy little things like me dressed up in a full black trench coat, speaking German loudly. You know,
100%.
just goofy, funny little things
Goofy
like
little
that.
things that are just random.
Just
100%.
random,
Yeah,
out of nowhere things.
we were in the park, Pan Pacific, which for people who aren't from LA, it's like just a very like central busy park in Los Angeles. And we did something where Tyler was like dating 12 women at once and he was in like a full leather trench coat. And we had like 12 girls and me dressed up as a girl, as like a 6'3", just like behemoth of a woman in the park in like military like garb.
Yeah.
The joke is he's like starting a small militia and he's like
training them.
shouting like German in the park and we're like marching to him. So people saw a sight that day of just, of us just doing that.
Yeah, you know what museum is actually at the other end of the park. I didn't even think about that.
Yeah,
until
that was
now.
probably a bad look.
Oh
but that's
yeah,
okay.
yeah.
So-
You really want to be careful where you're loudly talking in German.
Yeah,
you know?
in a trench coat.
Yeah, you live and you learn. You live and you learn.
100%. 100%. But yeah, we definitely do terrorize the people of Park La Brea and Pan Pacific Park with our filming. So.
I love it. I feel like that's kind of the. Do you guys ever get location something like isn't it illegal to just kind of film and you just illegally film all the time?
Yeah,
basically?
100%.
I've heard you technically need, like, if you're shooting a movie, you technically need a permit to film in your own home.
Really?
Apparently in LA.
What the hell?
Yeah,
it's
actually insane. That's the
nice thing about Wisconsin is you can just film anywhere and nobody cares.
Yeah.
But apparently you can kind of do that and get away with it yourself.
With what we're doing, the security around here does stop us quite a bit, which is very similar to my dad stopping us when we're filming. So it's actually like kind of a nice callback. I'm like, we're used to this.
He's just getting you ready, Mike. It's not that he actually hated you, even though he said that. He was getting you ready.
No, he reinforced that he hated me every day. But yeah, he was just getting us ready for Los Angeles. But yeah, so they do shut us down sometimes, but it's kind of funny. It's our full-time job, so we just kind of roll with the punches. And yeah, we don't really mess around with like permits. We tried to film at a studio one time and we didn't have our permit. We actually did get rejected, so that was one time I guess we needed it. But yeah, for the most part, we're just completely breaking the law every single day. We're in Los Angeles.
That's awesome. Good for you guys.
No, we were both in relationships, so believe me, we understand about a bunch of deserved like anxiety going on at all times. We're used to that.
Wait, you're both in relationships?
We were. So we're just like dealing with like just massive amount of anxiety for no reason. We're just used to dealing with that.
Yeah. And did you guys both like break up at the same time, or who broke up first?
Kind of. I actually did first. Actually, both of our now ex-girlfriends were from Wisconsin.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
We imported them.
Did you?
So, made them wear Viking stuff. Yeah.
Really?
Well,
did they do it?
They didn't do it. They wore Packer stuff.
That's good. Were they friends of each other's?
No,
unrelated.
Randomly? You guys both decide to marry or date excuse me, date Packers fans.
I guess, yeah, technically.
We wanted to understand the enemy's mind a little bit more. You know? We were trying to figure them out. Like, what are these people all about? It's like, breakfast, just a block of cheese. You're like, oh, okay. Like, that's interesting.
Christoph Waltz in Inglourious Bastards, he's like, I think like, them. That's how we had to start thinking.
Yeah, we think like Wisconsin.
Yeah, the Scotties.
Exactly.
Okay, here's my fun fact I forgot to tell you. When you go to the like Amazon and it goes to like one order that you had a long time ago that you searched and it's like strangely bookmarked.
Yeah.
Do you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
So his YouTube on his computer is your Fleet Farm video.
Yeah. Oh, really?
Yeah, that's like
a bookmark?
Anytime he goes to YouTube that's the video. So you're just getting plays every day.
Yeah. Thank you for that. I appreciate that.
I'll bill you eventually.
Invoice.
We actually wanted to ask you what your CPM is, just so I can accurately invoice you for watching that video about 10 times a day.
I do appreciate that. I don't know how that happened, but I'll take it.
Yeah. I'm not sure why it happened or how it happened either, but I know the first 5 seconds of that video pretty well.
Yeah.
I've seen it enough times. So.
I would have put way more effort into it had I known.
Mine's a Sam Hyde video, if you know Sam Hyde.
Oh, yeah.
So you can kind of see the
differences, the combining.
Developing of videos is important, though. We shot just something the other day, and we tried desperately to get we were trying to get a bald eagle for the opening shot, where one of us would be holding like an eagle. It's extremely hard to get a bald eagle in America because they're like endangered. So we couldn't really do it. We might get the puppet from the pistachio ads with Stephen Colbert. There was like a robotic eagle.
I remember that.
Yeah, we might get that as our eagle for the opening shot.
Oh, that'd be pretty cool.
Yeah, just random, but fun stuff.
Do you guys know that like a bald eagle, you know how when you're watching something and you see the bald eagle and it gives that
yeah,
that's not what a bald eagle sounds like.
That's what he was telling me.
Yeah,
it's like
that's a hawk. Yeah, or a hawk, something like it. But a bald eagle sounds like a seagull.
Yeah,
Yeah, but it's kind of a bizarre thing. Then if you get you could be like, well, what does that say about America right now? But then you can't. And look, see that look you just gave me? That's like the look your dad probably gave you after you gave me a look. I don't know if you know it.
Yeah. It was like the look he would give me is the look of just hate and just regret. But I don't know if I was giving you that look.
I don't know. What good question though. What is the look that your dad would give you when he was pissed?
Oh, fuck. Let me think for a second.
While he thinks, I have a story.
Oh, yeah. Go for the story.
Well, there's a couple with his dad. I mean, there's so many classic bangers, but
you got kidnapped one time.
I got kidnapped. But the one that I always like is the dome.
What's
with the chicken? You should tell it. He's better. I mean, it's his dad. So.
Yeah, this is just a great Midwest story. So every Wednesday, the grocery store by our house did a $5 rotisserie chicken, like a full-on chicken for
$5 cluck.
$5 cluck.
Yeah.
You know you're not passing up that deal.
Hell no.
So every Wednesday we would get that. So we went down to the grocery store and got like a $5 rotisserie chicken. And then you put it on my lap. It's kind of just burning me on the way home. No big deal. You know, the grease is kind of getting on you, 3rd-degree burns. So then it had like this dome over it that kind of kept in the heat.
I know the dome.
Yeah. So I got out of the car and I was young at the time. I was like 10 years old. And I was holding it by the dome.
It's probably too hot.
Yeah, it was too hot to hold. It was burning me. So I got out of the car and it just dropped onto the garage floor, cement floor. And it like not only dropped it was a sight to see a whole rotisserie chicken's drop. But it like dropped and it was like rolling. It was like rolling over like dust.
Moist, collecting like
this
gravel.
like super moist $5 rotisserie chicken just like over gravel and just rocks.
Like oil.
And I just looked at it, like didn't know what to do. And my dad just like turns the corner and just like sees the chicken and sees me. And just you could feel it coming. He's like, everything you touch gets fucked up. And I was like, I was like 10. I was like, I don't know. Sorry, Dad. I'll give you $5 on my allowance. I apologize. Yeah, super just like, we'll never forget that moment. But
character building moment.
That is a great Midwest dad. Is your dad like that too?
No, he's really not. The defining characteristic of my dad is like just cheap.
Yeah, extremely cheap.
Kind of a Midwest vibe.
Midwest cheap though. I mean,
it's really cheap.
Yeah,
exactly.
It's different. It's an art form though.
Yeah,
it's like frugality.
Exactly. It's almost like I'm almost impressed by it. Like honestly, but I'm too embarrassed. But you know what I mean? Like I'm 90% embarrassed, 10% I'm impressed with like what he's able to do.
What's like the cheapest thing that he's done?
Like he would, so my parents are divorced, and then growing up, he would go to Menards. Familiar with John Menard?
I've heard of it. Yeah.
And so you get like rebates, okay? You get like one rebate per address.
Yeah.
So my parents were divorced, and I would split time with my parents, going back and forth to their houses. So he would double up on the rebate and send it to my mom's house. And I would collect it and bring it to $11.80.
You were part of this racket.
Yeah. That's the thing. I got roped in. I was like, I better be getting some good bolts from Menards. Don't they sell like milk and stuff too? They have like some groceries.
Yeah, you can do a whole lot there.
Yeah.
I'm one of 12 kids, so my parents were really.
You have 11 siblings.
11 siblings. Yeah.
Oh shit!
Whoa.
Yeah.
That's what Matt Damon claims in Good Will Hunting.
I know, but it's Andy, Charlie, Billy, Betsy, Maggie, Eddie, Mary Kate, John, Emily, Nora, Bridget, Ellie. So there you go.
Damn.
Yeah.
Barron's German?
Barron's, it's half German. My mom's last name Malloy, so half German, half Irish, some French Canadian in there.
Okay.
A bunch of other white places that I can't really remember and don't really matter. Something like that. But we did like a lot of home renovation projects at our house growing up. So there was a lot, like learning how to put tile down when you're a young kid is always funny because you get that glue seeping up between the tiles and your dad's like, what's the matter with you? And you're like, I'm not trained to do this professionally.
Yeah. At least it sounds like your dad had like some sort of, like he could do home improvement projects.
Oh yeah. Did your dad not do them?
I think both our dads, they were frugal, so they tried to save money, but they couldn't actually fix anything. I know like Tyler's like car, his like bumper broke, and his dad just grabbed like Vikings Scotch tape.
Like duct tape,
excuse me, and just taped it like together.
Really?
Way worse than silver duct tape.
Yeah, and then my car had like a little piece missing from the headlights, like it wasn't a big deal. My dad just grabbed like seafoam. Do you know what seafoam looks like?
Yeah, I do.
And my car was red. So he thought the seafoam already looked like, I can make this look even better. And he took a red permanent marker and painted in the seafoam and it looked literally like I hit a deer. Like people ask me what I hit all the time. They're like, "What did you hit in your car?"
Because it was like rough and
It
like
looked
bumpy and
looked
red.
like I hit a deer and the brains were still on my car, and that's what people thought. And people are like, "What's on your car?" And it's like, "Oh, my dad just tried to fix it." So
I mean, the attention to detail though, with getting the red Sharpie on top of that is pretty impressive.
that's love. That's when like Midwest fathers sometimes can't express love very well. When your dad does something like that, when he goes above and beyond and paints in the sea foam with red, you know that he cares about
That's
you.
how he shows it.
Yeah.
Did your dads like say "I love you" a lot, or was it just kind of they would shake your hand and say, "All right, we'll see you later"?
Yeah, that's definitely what me and my dad did.
Yeah,
Yeah.
there was not much of those words spoken,
Yeah,
verbally.
it's kind of awkward,
Yeah, a little bit.
Yeah, male to male.
Yeah,
If you have a daughter or something, or your mom says it, it's different.
right. But
You know?
it's kind of, and that's why we had very awkward first embraces. Like when I
Yeah.
showed up at the door.
Yeah, that's why.
You guys didn't see this, Cripescast listeners, but we backpacking left-handed handshake, and then was gonna do the handshake half hug,
Yeah.
like because that's kind of cool.
Yeah. You look
People
cool.
do that.
When you pull it off, when you pull it off smoothly, it looks great.
Yeah, but what I did is I did a left-hand handshake, and then with the right hand went in for a hug, so it looks like we were ex-girlfriend, boyfriend kind of a hug.
Yeah, it definitely had that feel of like we used to be lovers and not anymore. For
Yeah.
sure. I felt that at first.
Yeah, I was almost gonna I was like, should I be half pecking you on the cheek right now?
Yeah.
And
I thought we were gonna go like the packing, how they do in Europe, like the
Yeah.
left to right.
Yeah, didn't do any of that. And then I showed you what we did, which made our first in-person encounter
Better.
better because we kind of there was a little tension between us
Yeah.
until you came down, and then I could finally call out the awkward embrace. I felt better after that. Did you?
Oh my God, I felt so much better.
Yeah.
Because right away I was like, oh, that was fucking awkward.
Yeah.
But
Well, on the topic of gay stuff.
Yeah.
So what you work out? How do you play sports growing up? How do we get a build like Charlie Barnes?
Oh, that's very kind of you to say.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and we're straight, by the way. You can tell by the football.
yeah. Hold on.
Vikings,
see
football,
see the car?
Lamborghini.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I like to do some things. I like to do boxing.
Okay.
Boxing?
Did you wrestle growing up?
No.
Okay.
But you look like a guy who wrestled growing up.
I did.
Your posture right now tells me wrestler.
Really? Yeah.
You didn't wrestle?
I did.
Okay.
A little bit, like when I was really young. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
You know how it is in the Midwest. You have to do like either hockey or wrestling. Something like
I didn't
that.
do hockey. We didn't do hockey because 12 kids.
It's expensive.
Yeah. That ice
too
time.
expensive.
It's a team.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You just run drills. Actually, it's two teams.
I know,
Literally,
seriously.
6-on-6.
we did pond stuff, and then we did frozen parking lot.
Oh.
That's where I played hockey. But
Nice.
then over time, those winters kind of got weird for a while. They're still a little weird. Down by us, you guys got that good ice.
Yeah, we get that good ice.
Yeah, we got that ice.
It's one of the few things we have in Minnesota. Yeah.
So, you guys, you grew up friends.
Yeah.
And then you went to different colleges.
Became enemies.
Yeah.
Yeah, because you were St. John's.
Yeah.
You were
St.
St. Cloud.
Yeah.
And then after college, did you guys just work normal jobs, or what? How did you get from college to out here? When did you move out here?
Yeah. So like we grew up making videos through high school, and then in college, we were really close. We were like still like 10 miles away from each other in college. So we were still like making videos and stuff. And then after college, we did get like normal jobs, like the soul sucking jobs you need to get in order to get like a personality,
Yeah.
So
What were those jobs?
I was working at advertising agencies, making their videos. And then Tyler.
I was working at a production company
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
in Minnesota.
Nice.
Bizarre Foods.
Oh, okay.
So they shot that out of, the company's out of Minnesota.
Yeah.
There was. It's no longer in existence. But yeah.
Yeah. And how long did you do that for before you guys... Well, and then you guys started doing videos there, right? You started doing videos in
Yeah. We were always making videos, and we just slowly like picked up the pace of how many we were making each week, basically.
But
I got it. So you've been making videos consistently throughout that whole time?
Yeah, since like third, fourth grade.
Yeah, since like, high school especially.
Yeah, high school especially.
And
not a ton, but and we weren't good at it. But yeah, we were doing like 1 or 2 a month maybe for that whole time. And then like 4 or 5 years ago, we really was like, hey, let's just try this. Let's like actually do it.
Yeah. So what was the platform that I first took off on?
I guess
Remember?
TikTok.
Technically. It was during the pandemic. We just like heard about it and we started to post to it. And we just started getting a little traction. Like we were posting YouTube and like we're getting like 100 views per video. Nothing. And then
Big numbers.
Big numbers. But then TikTok, we got like, there's a video that hit like 50,000 views. We're like, oh shit, this is like cool. And then kept posting and we kind of grew up the account.
And it was too early to know like that
wasn't a lot of
like
views.
wasn't like real, or you know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
the views feel like cheaper in some way on TikTok for some reason.
They do heat up accounts, I guess, or I don't know. They TikTok has this thing where like average non like consistent video making people can get huge views quick, probably to get more creators in there.
Yeah, they hook them.
Yeah, they hook them, and then you create more creators, so no one creator has sway over the platform.
Yeah, TikTok's strategy is like very similar to like how like they distribute like meth and like crack into communities. They like distribute it, get people, they give it for free the first time, get people hooked, and then they like slowly take it away. Yeah. It's literally like that concept. They just made it into like a business plan.
Yeah. So, I mean, gotta hand it to them, honestly.
But yeah, and then we started just like to pick up on TikTok, and then I think we had like 400,000 followers, and we decided to move out to Los Angeles. It was right after the pandemic, after 2 just cold winters during the pandemic, nothing to do. We were trapped in the same apartment together. We were living at one point in a half-bedroom apartment. There was no wall separating us. I was sleeping behind a couch.
Really?
With a C-stand and then a blanket over it. That was my bedroom. And then Tyler was in a room that just had like it was like kind of like this.
The walls didn't touch the ceiling.
Yeah, there's like a 6 foot. Yeah, like if I wanted to climb up and see what Tyler was doing, I could definitely do that. No problem.
You guys have bathroom stall divisions.
Yeah, exactly. Funny enough, at one point, that his closet was the size of a queen size bed.
So I put it in there. And
so Tyler, he was in the closet sleeping, which is crazy because Tyler was in the closet sleeping.
That's congratulations.
Yeah, thank you.
I also slept in a closet for a while out here at my buddy's house.
Yeah, that's a rite of passage.
The closet room is not a bad way to live.
It's so dark.
It's like tiny.
A cocoon.
I know. Yeah, you don't even need to put a t-shirt over your eyes because the window's there.
It's very similar to being back in the womb. It's very like paternal, or maternal, I should say.
So hot in the closet.
Yeah.
Closets get very hot.
Hey, very hot in the closet. Tyler's an expert on that.
But you were always living together throughout this whole time.
Yes.
Tyler and I have been living together for like, I don't know, 5
or 6 years.
Yeah. That's like a few more years of that, and you guys have a legal union.
Common law.
Common joint bank account. And,
joint bank account, all the gear.
Oh,
we have put a limit on it, though. We've said, like, I think 35. At that point, no matter what the situation is with girls or relationships, we have to move out and just live on our own, probably.
Yeah.
Are you guys...
I don't know.
Are you going to miss each other?
Well, I will say this. We have looked at things where it's like 2 houses on the same property.
That's nice.
Yeah, we wouldn't necessarily be like apart that far from each other. Just like, we'd still be close. But yeah, we'd probably miss each other a little bit, right? You'd miss me. I probably wouldn't miss you, but...
So you played sports growing up?
I played some sports. Good transition. Let's get back to you guys living together, though.
Okay.
No, I'm kidding. I did. I played, what did I play? I don't know. I actually played football.
Nice.
And
that's
lacrosse.
Very hetero.
I
Two
played
hetero sports.
First lacrosse team in at the high school I was at.
Nice.
Okay.
We were like the Bad News Bears of it.
James Madison Memorial.
I was at Marquette High School.
Got it.
Yeah, in Milwaukee. Yeah.
You have the lacrosse hair.
Thank you.
You can tell.
The lacrosse thing, back when I played lacrosse, not all lacrosse players were douchebags. At least that's what I'm telling people.
Yeah.
Or I didn't know.
Yeah, maybe you weren't self-aware of the douchebagginess that was going on.
Right. I mean, no offense if do you guys know lacrosse players?
Oh yeah, they're douchebags. Yeah.
Well, you're a hockey player. I feel like a lot of hockey players would play lacrosse in the office.
True.
Yeah, that's literally what my brother did.
Yeah. Is your brother a douchebag?
Big time, yeah.
Is he?
No, he's a good guy.
Oh, nice.
He's a classic Minnesotan, just lives on a lake, gets up every day in saunas, goes for a little paddle boarding ride.
Wow.
Yeah, he lives the life, man.
Where does he live over Minnetonka?
Waconia.
Yeah. I don't even know where Waconia is.
That's how Minnesotan he is. He's living in towns you've never even heard of, just like random places.
So, you guys, when did your stuff just, like, I feel like, first of all, I gotta say this. I know I've told you both in person, but your writing is so good.
Thank you.
Good. Like that, I feel like that's like the the best thing about your videos. But then the visuals are awesome too. So you can kind of see the ad and the production company background. Is that like what gets you going the most? Is it the writing? Is it the shooting? What aspect of it?
I feel like for me, I like the writing.
Yeah.
I feel like that gets me going the most. I mean, we both write, we both direct, we both act, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
But I don't know. Sometimes I feel like, I like the writing. I feel like he's very good at the directing.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. I mean, again, we both do both, but like
A rare compliment coming from Tyler. I didn't know that.
But I feel like we both have strengths in certain things. And like, he's probably better at post,
Okay.
Editing
and stuff. And I've probably spent more time doing pre. You know what I mean? So if it's like writing, producing, but again, like he's good at those too. And then it'll be like directing, editing. If I had to say who's like done more of those things,
Yeah.
but he's written plenty of viral videos,
Yeah. No, I've seen it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's cool. I mean, and then being out here is nice because you can collaborate with a bunch of people.
That's right.
That's definitely one of the benefits. You can do the thing that you're doing from anywhere, but the ability to collaborate with people, like being out here in Los Angeles, what are the benefits that a creator can have living out here except for that?
100% is that. And like, it just feels real. It didn't feel like real to us in Minnesota, at least to me. Then you come out here and then it's like, oh, this is like, you see things and you learn things quickly.
I think
because there's no place better. And yeah, that's what I think.
Yeah, there's more of like a support system out here of like creators that you can learn from, work with. Also, like the weather is a big thing.
Yeah.
Like filming in Minnesota in the winter sucks. It's hard. It's always sunny here, which is nice. And yeah, there's just a lot more connections. Also, like just the way, like literally how like how do you say, like the society of Los Angeles is like probably 5 years ahead of like Minnesota in terms of like trends. Like trends move a lot faster out here. So you're a lot closer to the epicenter of like what people are talking about, what's going on. You're just a lot closer to that, lot of like this stuff that I've noticed, which is like helpful, like for ideas and stuff. It feels like whatever's going on in Los Angeles is probably going to be echoed and mirrored. Like it starts in New York and California. In my opinion, it starts in New York and Los Angeles and it moves inwards in terms of like what people are doing. And then people kind of mirror like what's happening.
Well, like wearing like somewhat looser fitting cargo pants has been a thing in the Midwest since the year 2000,
That's
or perhaps
true.
before. And a lot of people haven't really changed that aspect of their style. And now been ahead of the game.
It's at some point
because that's come back.
Yeah, if you stick with the styles, it will probably go back in style at some point.
Yeah.
And that's what the Midwest has been doing with those cargo
Total
pants.
renaissance right now because everyone in the Midwest dressed very fashionably these days.
Yeah, they're looking good now.
It reminds me of one of our friends does stand up. This is his joke. I'm stealing it, but it's like he's like if you when you live at your parents' house and you're like in your late 20s, you're like, oh man, like that guy's a loser.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But if you stick it out long enough, and then you're in your 30s, that people go, wow, how a guy that young with no job get that house?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
How nice of him to let his parents live with him.
He's helping out his parents.
Yeah.
You stick it out long enough, then the parents die. How does the guy with no job get a nice house?
That's what's happening in the Midwest. They're like, how do so many people who have no concept of fashion look so fashionable right now in the Midwest? Like, how are these people doing it?
It's just we've always known.
Yeah.
Folks, excuse the interruption, but I want to let you know that this podcast is powered and presented by Everlight Solar. Shout out to Everlight Solar for making Cripescast lit up all year round with the solar panels right there on the roof. It saves the environment, saves me money. It's great. If you want it for yourself, call Everlight Solar or head to everlightsolar.com. Book your free consultation to see how solar panels and solar energy can work for you. And also, folks, Fleet Farm. I got to tell you, summer's coming to a close. It's already unofficially done because school started, but the official close is coming up. Anyway, it doesn't mean that the grilling season is ending, though, because Fleet Farm knows that you got tailgates coming up. You got birthday parties. You got Halloween. And what goes good with all that sort of stuff? The grill. Okay, so they got grills, they got griddles, they got smokers, they got top brands like Blackstone, Weber, Pit Boss, anything you need to grill all year round, you can find it at the Fleet Farm. And you can also check out their huge selection of pellets to unlock new flavor and make your favorite grilled foods taste even better than before. Cold or warm, no matter what season, Fleet Farm is there to help you grill and just have a heck of a time. So head on over to Fleet Farm. Tell them I says hi. And finally, folks, sweatshirt season is upon us. Get on over to Cripescast.com, click on the merch section, and you can get all your Midwest merch needs. Not just sweatshirts, but we got koozies, and we got, old-fashioned glasses, and bottle openers, and cribbage boards, and whatever you need, we got it there. Great gifts, great gifts for friends, gifts for you. I don't know. You could also go to patreon.com/Charlie Barons. You can check out all of our behind-the-scenes stuff, get a first look at show tickets, and some giveaways, too. Patreon.com/Charlie Barons. And, folks, finally, shows are officially starting this fall, so head on over to Cripescast.com/tour and check me out on the road. I'm not doing the podcast live, but doing stand-up live. So if you're a fan of stand-up, you're a fan of the Midwest, I tell you what, you should come see a show, and hope to see you guys on the road in Sioux Falls this weekend, and then Minnesota, and then out to Boston. So going around the country, and I hope to see you there. All right, let's get back to my conversation with Content Machine.
So do you plan to stay Midwest, or no plans, or don't know?
Well, I moved out to LA when I was like 22 or something.
Wow, yeah.
Like right out the gate to work at a production company. And then I left to do news for a number of years. And then I came back to Los Angeles, lived for like 6 years or something. And so then at that point was the pandemic. When you guys were moving out here, I was moving back because I was like, well, I don't need to, I can do my thing from anywhere. So I kind of took almost the opposite thing.
Yeah.
And because I do the stand-up too, so I'm on the road a lot. So when I'm not on the road, and then you get the family time stuff in. Also, the nice thing, a lot cheaper to live there.
Way cheaper.
A lot more parking.
Way more
So,
parking.
if you guys get sick of having a hard time parking your car,
Oh.
now we got to bring that up.
I'll say this.
Okay.
I'm trying to put this delicately.
Yeah, go ahead.
We didn't buy a car.
Okay.
The board of directors at Content Machine approved a business expense.
Yeah,
This is what we call a tax write-off.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
This is the board.
There's the board.
New
Got
gear was
bored one
purchased.
day.
Yeah.
And what was the traditional whip?
Before Toyota RAV4.
Ooh,
Yeah.
That's what you're at.
We still have it.
We still have that.
Do you?
That's a gear car.
Oh, so you guys have 2 cars now.
Technically 3.
What's
3
the other
bedrooms.
A Mazda 3.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Now we're cooking with gas.
Yep, exactly. So my dad, actually, when I bought that car, he yelled at me. And by the way, I was 25.
This is
when I
the
bought that
Mazda.
car.
The car he's talking about.
Yeah, the Mazda. He yelled at me because it was red, and he said it was too sporty of a car. Yeah.
Your insurance will go
way up. I think it went from let's say $100, to like 125. It was a big spike.
Yeah.
But yeah, so then we bought the new car, which is a red Porsche 911. So
Wow.
He'll probably self-implode or self-destruct when he finds out about that
My
car.
parents don't know. I haven't told
They
them.
don't know. I
No,
mean,
this is how they'll find out. So
I'd be more afraid about your dad because, if you think about those payments, all the kids you could feed instead of sending to the basement for their dinner with those car payments.
Yeah.
It hurts my mind to even think about it.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I'm afraid of what my dad will. He's on oxygen now, so I can always, you know what I mean?
Oh my God.
On the cord, if he gets a little too riled up, just cut
hockey
off.
skate. Just
Yeah, exactly.
Oh,
Yeah,
whoops!
yeah.
I was going my way to hockey.
I just meant taper him off for a few seconds, settle him down. You're going for the full on, just out of his misery. But yeah. I was just saying, I just pull off the oxygen for a couple seconds, settle him down. But yeah, so we'll see what happens, what the reaction is.
Yeah. Okay.
But do you see yourself coming back to LA ever, or no?
Oh yeah. Well, I don't know. I mean, no.
Probably not.
No, because I don't know that I necessarily want to. I probably had a different experience than you guys had because you guys came here. It seems like your stuff is taken off. When I came to LA, my career was like that, getting laid off, doing red carpet stuff, which I didn't want to do. you know, trying to do stand up. And then when my stuff started to take off, it took off mostly in the Midwest. So I was like, all right, great, cheaper stuff.
So do you notice like with your titles and stuff, do you like, will you commit to like Wisconsin or do you like to go Midwest?
I think if I'm doing Midwest stuff, it's mostly Midwest because it applies to a larger audience.
Yeah.
And truthfully, you know, the difference between Wisconsin, Iowa, Minnesota, Michigan, there are some very big differences, but largely everyone can relate to the same kind of things. But then, you know, you try to broaden it out. But I don't think, you know, I don't think I'm going to leave.
Yeah.
I'll come out here and visit, you know, and stuff. But yeah, I mean, that's kind of where I'm at. Do you think I failed? Are you judging me?
No.
Hanging it up?
No.
What?
Yeah.
No,
I
was
can
just
tell.
curious.
Yeah,
No,
you're
not
just
at all.
curious.
I feel like, no, for real. I was just curious because
All successful people move to LA and then
They
to
move
Wisconsin. Yeah,
True.
that's
Yeah,
usually the-
thank you. I mean, it's
That's the
me
sign.
and
Zucker Brothers,
where do they live?
I think Milwaukee.
Do they?
I think they moved back. Yeah.
Oh, holy smoke.
And they were either going to move to New York or LA. And they said they moved to LA because when they eventually became homeless, the weather would be better.
True.
That was their bet.
A lot of people share that mentality.
Yeah, when I moved out here, I had a minivan because I shot it on accident.
Shot with the gun.
A gun, shotgun, 12 gauge. My brother didn't unload it. I was pulling him out of the back seat.
Wow.
There were 4 guns there. Pull them all out. He had like one of those sock covers. Do you guys shoot things ever?
Not really, actually.
Okay.
Yeah.
It shouldn't have happened, but it happened. Anyway, I shot it. So my dad said, you bought that. So I came out here with it. The nice thing about a minivan, though, is you can like sleep in the back if you got to.
Yeah.
And the nice thing about LA is the weather is, I remember this one time that we were up in San Francisco, me and my buddies, and we didn't have money for a hotel room. So the 3 of us cuddled up in the back of that minivan, so cold.
Yeah.
I've never been so cold in California. That was nuts.
Yeah, you definitely get cold. Yeah.
Nuts to butts.
When you're cold, anything goes quickly. I remember WeFest. Do you know what WeFest is? Country festival up in northern Minnesota.
Oh, okay.
It's just it's like a big excuse to get drunk for like 5 days.
Because people in Minnesota need that.
They do need that.
Yeah. It's kind of our thing for sure. Same thing with Wisconsin. I saw a statistic that's like, of the 100 counties that have the highest DUI like statistics, 99 of them are in Wisconsin. And then the other one's in Minnesota, right next to
Wisconsin's got some issues with that situation.
You know,
Hey.
all I heard was number 1. You know, we're on top. But yeah, so WeFest, we were up there, and it weirdly fell to like it was like below 30 degrees on the last night, and I just happened to have like an Arctic sleeping bag, like one that you zip up for a single person. And I woke up in the middle of the night and my buddy was we were all hammered, but he was like, I woke up and I was like, Kyle, what's going on? He was like in a starting stance, for like how people do like a track, like sprint, like, you know, like he was in like a 3-point stance. He was just like doing that, making weird noises. I think he was dying is what was happening. I think he was literally suffering from hypothermia. And I was like, Kyle, come here. And he just came. It was so like majestic. And he just put his head here. We just laid together and I just zipped up the sleeping bag and we just fell asleep.
This is the first time I'm hearing about this.
Yeah, sorry about that. But pretty sure I saved his life that night. At least I like to think so.
So how sweaty was that Arctic sleeping bag with 2 guys?
Oh, it was so cold. It was like kind of nice. I think I needed the body heat too.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah.
Well, it's a win-win.
It was a big win.
That's a very Midwest nice thing for you to do.
Yeah,
very Minnesota.
You were
nice.
drunk?
Definitely
And you were
drunk.
21.
Yeah, actually, I was at the time.
Yeah.
Just let the record show that.
Yeah. Quit trying to rat him out. You know. What's the biggest difference between LA and Minnesota?
A lot, for sure. Hold on, let's think.
Okay,
There's an ocean here. I think people-wise, okay, well, LA is full of transplants, which is very different than Minnesota because usually everybody from Minnesota, like in Minnesota, is from Minnesota.
Yeah.
You know, so there's a lot more variance of people and culture.
Yeah.
Like Minnesota is very like, there's one like type of people in Minnesota. It's like white people who don't like spice, who like are just brutalized by the winter every year. You know, where LA, you do meet like a lot of different people, which is very cool.
Mm-hmm.
So you get like that going. Tyler?
Yeah, I think I do think there's something with the culture. Like, do you know tall poppy syndrome? Have you heard of this?
Yeah, where you cut down the tall poppy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like there's more of that in Minnesota, in the Midwest.
Yeah, that is definitely a thing. I would think, do you think that could go away? Well, I don't know. I was going to say, can you develop a culture in the Midwest?
Yes.
Like where you can create like guys like you, let's say you were to go back to the Midwest at some point. I know you're not going to. But let's say you were, and then it's kind of like a hub, like kind of how you have like Austin was sort of like the outlaw country capital, because Willie Nelson moved there and a bunch of other people.
We might go back.
Oh, yeah?
It's definitely not off the table. And that's what we always actually wanted to do, was what you're saying.
Yeah.
That was kind of always like the 20-year plan.
Yeah.
Was to do something like that, because then you could buy and build like a big studio, like a Dude Perfect or whatever.
Oh,
and
yeah. Where's his thing?
They did it down in Texas.
Or their thing?
To Texas,
Yeah, so they did it in Texas, and they just have like all that land, and it was cheap in Texas.
Right.
They couldn't have ever done that in LA, obviously. But anyway, that was kind of always like in the back of our minds. But I feel like that tall poppy thing is less out here. It's okay to succeed.
Yeah.
I know what Minnesota needs. It needs
What?
a canon event, which is we need to win a championship like series of some sort. That's all that it needs. If the Vikings would have won the Super Bowl when we had it in Minneapolis,
At home, yeah.
That would have been
tall poppy season syndrome, it would have gone away. It would have ushered in a mecca, a utopia in Minnesota where everybody was happy, everybody was like would be flashy, and like it would have changed everything. But it didn't happen.
Mecca, utopia, those are the same things. You're right. I agree.
So where do you think the tall poppy thing comes from?
I don't know. I think it's imported from Canada, because that's how they kind of are, I think. I think like the Midwest, I don't know what that is, but
I think it comes from that. I think it comes from the Iron Range and just like being like blue collar, living within your means. You're not flashy. You don't show off.
Yeah.
like I've heard stories of guys out here where they're not like, they can't afford like courtside season tickets to Lakers games, but they'll buy them and like use it to like network as an investment, but they can't really afford it.
Right.
But they'll like somehow figure out like a payment plan or something, or like get a loan to like get tickets like that to go network with other people there, because it's whoever.
That was a hard thing, man, because there is a lot of like $40,000 millionaires or whatever they call it in LA.
Yeah.
Where the same kind of thing. But the whole networking thing, do you guys like that aspect? Are you good at that?
I don't know. We're okay at it. I don't think we're bad at it. But yeah, to me, it's always been like, we just want to do like the work kind of. We like doing it. And we see a lot of people who do just the networking and they make nothing. And it's like,
that's
you
a huge
have
difference.
to make something eventually. You have to do the work, because you're going to network with someone. Then what do you show them?
Yeah,
You know what I
right.
mean?
No, because I remember there was a time where I was like, oh, you got to network like to be an actor. I just adjusted my shorts.
Yeah. Please, if you guys need to adjust,
because it's like a full on package shot, you know, which is okay. Yeah, everyone just take a minute and adjust.
Yeah. Make sure.
There you go.
Yeah. Get that tent down, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Yeah, I usually like to pop just a couple hymns right before, just to like, just get
just
the blood
to be full,
going.
nice, and
Are you single, Charlie? Are you?
I have a girlfriend.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I was. Yeah. Why do you ask? Are you interested?
No, I was wondering if you knew the way of the hymn spells, because you're over 30.
God. Oh yeah, the erectile dysfunction. pills. Yeah, are you guys on that train? What's going on?
I think every guy I know out here just takes this day. We all take those now,
just for fun,
just like for an extra little pop,
Well, that's cool. Good for you guys.
Yeah, that's another thing that LA does to you. Just like crazy, you're just taking a lot more.
I just want to take a moment to say this is a public podcast. I just need to consult with my client here for a moment. This will be public.
We can cut that.
I can not confirm or deny if I've ever done that. I plead the fifth.
I'll just say I learned it from somebody that lives in this house. I'm not going to say who.
Yeah, there's a gremlin in the closet.
There is definitely a gremlin in the closet. Let me tell you.
Okay, we got this segment on the podcast that says, "What makes you say cripes?" Like, it's a cripe sesh. What makes you go cripes up? Do you guys grow up saying cripes at all?
No.
My mom may
crapola.
have a little bit. Yeah, crapola.
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 Yeah.
Okay, that'll work too.
That's like the brother of like cripes.
yeah,
I would
it
say,
is.
You know?
Second cousin. Yeah,
Yeah,
but
exactly.
it'll work. Like what's an annoying thing for you guys? It could be anything.
I'll say like anything administration or corporate drives me absolutely crazy. For example, I tried to park at Park La Brea the other day, and I was driving.
This one says public podcast. Don't expose our address to people out there. Okay, sorry.
Sorry. Sorry. Thank you, by the way, for visiting us in Beverly Hills at our mansion. We appreciate you swinging by. Hopefully, the security out front of the gate didn't give you too much problem coming in here. But
Security actually said, "Yeah, it doesn't matter. Just go through."
But I was driving the new car actually, and you need a parking pass to park here. So you have to get, if you're a guest parking pass. So I was driving, and I was like, "Hey, can I get a parking pass?" And it said, "Who are you here to see?" And I said, "No, I live here. Can I just get a guest parking pass?" It said, "No, since you live here, you have to actually go into the office and get like a residential parking pass." And I was like, and it was just going to take time. I was like, "Can you just please give me a guest parking pass?" And then no. So I had to spend like an extra like 15 minutes to get this parking pass. It was just corporate bullshit, basically. I hate corporate bullshit.
The lesson here is, so you see, lying is actually good.
Lying is good.
And will help you.
Yeah.
There are some lies like that one where it's like, dude, just lie to me. This would make my job easier, your life easier.
Exactly.
It's the white lies.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. Corporate America, like, especially coming from Minnesota, where you have Target, Best Buy, 3M,
Yeah.
all these huge corporations, it does something to people. They become like these, like, I don't even know, scary kind of shadow people that they just become like drones almost. It's very scary to see.
I think this actually touches on the thing I was saying earlier with the tall poppy syndrome. I think they get like scarcity mentality, and you would think that the people with these kinds of jobs would be the most willing to take risks because they have the most security, but it's not true.
No.
They've gone 20 years making no decisions and diffusing responsibility to not make a bad decision in order to keep the job and keep getting a 2% pay bump every year that they don't even know, like they're not even like people anymore.
I worked for an agency, and there was somebody, like one of our clients, somebody had to like DM them a question about the product. That was, I can't remember exactly what it was, but it was like something they weren't exactly thrilled to share. And they, for like 5 years, every week we brought up this question, and they said they would run it back to the team. Because nobody wanted to make a decision on how to answer the question. For 5 years, nobody would answer this single question. It was so funny. Week after week, we'd be like, and how do we want to answer this question from this customer? And nobody wanted to make a decision. It was the craziest thing. Like 10 people in a room who didn't want to make like the easiest decision. That's what corporate America does. It's just like such a diffusion of responsibility. It's like, if you go, like, the goal is to never make a decision so you can't be blamed for something. It's like, that's like how people maneuver. You know?
You kind of see that in like Hollywood too, like at major studios. Like if you buy a project, that's why there's so many Marvel movies, because they're the safest ones to make.
Yeah, because you won't get fired for making a mistake.
Right. Yeah, and you can kind of see, like, if this is your gig, it's a huge pain in the ass to get another job. So you can just see where safe. But doing your thing, you guys don't really make safe things. You just follow the creativity, essentially, I think.
Yeah, exactly.
Does it get harder as you get more successful?
I think we're more careful a little bit, which maybe that's good, maybe that's bad.
I think we're more careful about how, like, I think we learned early on that, like, you can't just, like, you have to dress up certain things. You can't just, like, say something, like, directly. You have to, like, be a little bit more, like, you know, cute about it, or just, like, do a little bit more, like, a metaphor. But, like, I don't know, in terms of being, like, where we're at, I think we still try to make, like, creative risks all the time. Like, we still try to, like, do new things. We don't, you know, we're not trying to just do the same thing over and over and over again. It's like, we're trying to make new ideas happen. Like, that's where, like, the future videos came from, like short future,
those are
like
awesome,
gay future. Yeah. And it's just like, you know, that was just like, let's take a risk at, like, kind of a thing we've never tried before. We're always trying to do that. And, like, even if it falls flat, it doesn't matter for us. We still want to take, like, swings, you know?
Like, I feel like the Charlie Barron's video I've seen kind of like that is the State Fair one. And it's the politician character.
Yeah.
Like, you're taking shots.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But it's not like super, it's not obviously intended at anyone specifically. It's just, or maybe it is, but it's more of a general thing. But you're still like, it's kind of dressed up in that social media format, but you're able to kind of actually say something that you probably believe and feel.
Yes.
I think you weren't just trying to put out like relate bait.
No, but that's
Good
funny you bring up relate bait, because that's like, I've gotten into that trap of like, how is it relatable? How is it relatable? And then you're like making something, you're like, fuck, I don't know. We need a video today, right? We got to please the algorithm gods, just put it out. And you put out a couple of those and you're like, that's really like, for me, it's sort of a game-changing thing of like, I don't want to do that.
That's
again.
your cripes.
Yeah, that's my cripes. That's how we got on this conversation.
Yeah, what's your cripes, by the way?
I tried to just keep bouncing around different topics to buy time in order to think.
Very corporate America of you. Won't make a decision.
Yeah. I wanted to give you your cripes in real time.
Thank you.
God, your answer is good. What's a cripes? Man.
You know what? I'll save you here.
Okay.
You bring up, you just brought up one of my favorite videos that you did, which is like, I forget the title, but it was essentially like life in 20, like a future life where you wake up, you've got the neural implant and the Neuralink Thought-vertisement.
Yeah.
Wake up, I have my first thought-vertisement. Such a dystopian future. How do you guys feel about like AI and the role AI is playing from a creative standpoint?
I heard rumors of this, that you were on this AI.
I know,
train.
I can't get out. Did Dante tell you?
No, Tyler
Someone
told
else
me.
in this room.
Let's just say a closet gremlin told me about it.
The hymns gremlin. Yeah.
That gremlin will get you.
Strike this from the record. There's a guy who comes down the stairs like a gremlin, like, you guys, we weren't live. We can't get rid of him.
He's fully erect. It's like, got those hymns. All right.
He's fully erect.
Fully erect gremlin.
He's a walking like ad for him. He's just a permanent brand deal. They own him.
Or like, low key, that gremlin is hung. Like, you know what I mean?
That's a dystopian future. You're owned legally by hymns. You're right.
My closet gremlin wakes up in the morning, kind of
Break dances like a top.
Drills.
AI. Yeah, I don't know. I think it's something like anything else that will disrupt at first and then just become completely adopted into society.
Yeah.
I mean, technology is always changing and people are always getting displaced. You know what I mean? It's like we don't have as many like gas station attendants or like coal miners as we used to. You know, I think that always happens. I think new technology comes in, like when the internet came in, people thought it was going to be a fad and it wasn't, and it changed everything.
Yeah.
And not necessarily, like it wasn't necessarily a bad thing. It changed things, like a lot of things improved, and it's just as different than it used to be. I think AI will do that. I think like some people will lose their jobs, but people are always losing their jobs.
Yeah, right.
And it's like one of those things. I think in the long run, it will hopefully make things better and hopefully not cause the next Skynet to happen.
Yeah, right. I was listening to Elon Musk talk about like the Neuralink and why the Neuralink is good, because the Neuralink is basically for people who don't know, a little thing you put in your brain and kind of can connect you to a computer, connect neurons, but essentially connect people to AI.
Yeah.
And people's connection to AI will somehow help prevent the humanoid robots who are also connected to AI from taking over.
Interesting.
Because you will have the human cyborgs limiting that as a thing. And that sounds batshit crazy. And I would say that's batshit crazy if it didn't come out of the mouth of the guy running the world right now. You know? It's kind of crazy how like those guys do run the world. They do that. No one elected them or whatever. But like the AI stuff is like, it takes so much energy to do it that like, it's almost like this AI thing has to somehow fix the whole climate situation. Otherwise, we're just like, we're like doubling down on like the next blackjack hand, you know, like, okay. You know, because if it doesn't work, it's like,
well, when you look at like the future maps of like if global warming happens and like, you know, the water level raises and floods, the one area that's unaffected, the Midwest. And that all just becomes oceanfront property at that point. It's actually the nicest place to be. The winters get really mild.
So what you guys are, you've just unveiled your grand plan. Come out to LA until the Pacific Ocean moves its way to like Fargo.
You just keep moving all the way back up to Minnesota.
If you see us on a normal Monday, we're usually running our 3 cars. We're just letting the exhaust go up into the ozone. You know, we're jumping on the ground. We're trying to get the fault line looser. We're like, we're just trying to get the ocean inwards a little bit. That's all. We want to be by the ocean. It doesn't have to be in California. Minnesota would be preferable.
Yeah, honestly. Yeah. Well, that's great. I mean, that's great to hear.
Yeah.
No, but it is funny, man. That video that's a great way of doing, like when you're talking about like my politician video. That's how I feel about that video. It's like so well done and hilarious. Is more funny than it was like preachy or whatever, which makes it. And it's trying to find a way to like take your feelings. You're sort of like annoyed or happy or angry or curious or whatever, and then making them more funny than they are that emotion.
Yes, because I've written a couple of those future ideas and I've looked back over them. I go, this is interesting, but it's like not funny.
Yeah.
And I'm like, well, I don't know what to do with it because it's like we're trying to do comedy here. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like,
yeah. We're trying to make people laugh, not depress them.
Yeah.
Yes.
We'll get those comments on those videos like, this is depressing me.
Yeah.
But I guess that's cool too, as long as you feel something.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, art makes you feel something. Whether that's good or bad isn't up to us.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you think about something that makes me? Hey, when did you get the chain? By the way,
Ooh, that's an LA thing.
Did you just get that chain?
Kind of. Yeah, probably 3-4 months ago.
That's cool.
I'm trying to completely revamp my whole persona.
100%.
I'm trying to completely. I said I'll never change up. Even when I moved to LA, came out here, instantly changed up on them.
Wow.
Yeah.
Complete 180.
It's good to change up, but say you're not. That's like the ticket, though. Be like, I'll never change as you're changing.
Just completely cutting off everyone else you knew back home. Yeah.
When you walked in this place for the first time with that chain and you knew you were going to see your life partner of many, many years, were you concerned about what he would say about it, or?
No, I didn't think about it.
Yeah. Were you supportive of it?
We're already neuralinked.
Oh, okay, nice.
We're the first natural neuralinked people. So when he walked in, I was just like, I knew exactly what he was doing. I was like, yeah.
Nice.
Sorry, we got crossed for a second.
Yeah.
The signal went to both.
Exactly. But I looked at it, I was like, you're changing. You're trying to become more LA, and you're trying to like get more girls. And I understood it exactly.
But
I was like, I agree.
I see what happens with people out here because they'll do something. Because with this, it got to the point where I was like, I don't care. I'm just going to do it.
Yeah.
And like, I genuinely didn't care. And it might be stupid. It might not be the move. And I was just like, whatever. And I think that's how people like in LA, when they dress crazy, it's just that like running away.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean? They're just confident. They're like, I don't care. And then they start, Kanye, they start dressing like wild,
Yeah. So it starts off with the chain's almost like the first tattoo.
Gateway drug.
Yeah. And then you get a bunch of tattoos. Do you guys have tattoos?
None.
No.
Do you?
No.
Okay.
That's a Midwest.
That's a definitely Midwest thing.
Yeah. I grew up being told, what are you wasting your money for?
Yeah.
Because I want one for a while.
They're expensive.
They are.
Yeah. It's tough to break the seal, what the first one is.
Yeah, it's too much pressure.
Ton of pressure.
Yeah, I haven't done it with a girl yet. Because I've been waiting to break the seal.
I can't even greet a person properly because of the pressure, the immense pressure you're under to get it right, let alone get a tattoo.
Sweating.
I'd meet the tattoo artist like, oh, what's up? And miss, and the tattoo gun would start stabbing him, and I'd be like, all right.
Huge whoa, my God, it's a total accident. Okay.
But yeah.
That one can be struck.
Yeah, Tyler definitely has changed. I remember yesterday, he pulled up in the Porsche top down with a gold chain with a thing of hymns, just a sleeve of hymns. He's like, let's have some fun. I was like, oh, we have to talk time. I was like, you're getting out of control.
I'm just in a real life brand deal, just all the time.
There's a closet gremlin in the passenger seat just smoking meth. I was like, damn, dude. I was like, things are changing.
He looks like the Mucinex guy.
Yeah, exactly.
He kind of looks like that.
Fully erect, and I can't state this enough. Super hung. Hung like a horse.
I just want to make that point very clear. I know I said a couple times, just really want to reiterate. Yeah, that's what's going on.
Very hung. I did make direct eye contact with it. It did burn me a little bit, but yeah, the Mucinex looks like the Mucinex guy. Just with a huge erection.
Okay, last question. What do you guys miss the most about the Midwest?
Okay, mine's pretty easy. Culver's, man. I
Culver's.
love Culver's.
So your Culver's over In-N-Out.
In-N-Out, In-N-Out doesn't even count compared to Culver's. Like In-N-Out's like nice, it's like local food, it's like healthy.
Yeah.
It's not good. Culver's is what's good. You get the concrete mixer, the fries are better, they're like crinkle fries or whatever.
Yeah.
And then you get the Butterburger. And it tastes so good.
What do you get from you get concrete mixer?
I get an Oreo concrete mixer.
Ooh, wow.
And
Oreo.
Yeah.
Good for you.
Yeah. It's
Just if you're gonna do it, you might as well just do it.
I don't mess around when it comes to Culver's. I go in, I get exactly what you should get. I sit down, I enjoy myself.
I respect that.
Yeah.
I respect that about you a lot.
I do miss it. Whenever I go back to Minnesota, that's one of the first things I do.
I know a guy in Eau Claire who his family, they own like a small, 4-person helicopter, like one of those really small ones. And they'd take it to Culver's.
Really?
And I was like, that's just what you can do when you have land and like money. And yeah, he picked up his prom date in it, apparently, back in the day.
Wow.
Yeah, so they're like a helicopter family. That's like
I've
what
never
they do.
known a helicopter family. Also, in Eau Claire, you can just drive to a Culver's.
Yeah, that's a good point.
You could do
Yeah.
that.
That's a good point. But
You could.
Did he
also
land?
Yeah, he'd land in the parking lot apparently, and they just get Culver's when they wanted. I mean,
Was this a guy who owned Culver's?
no,
How
they
did-
just
They owned a helicopter.
They owned a helicopter. That was like part of the family businesses. They would do helicopter things.
I don't think you can just land at. It's not like one of those pontoon planes that you can. Also, what's up with those like lake planes? Like, how is that legal? Like that people can just take off on a lake and land on a lake.
Those seem very like dangerous for
Yeah.
sure.
Seems
just
like a kayaker's gonna like be resting in pieces after that. How does that not happen more?
Yeah, I agree with you because like when you take a real plane, there's a whole list of things that happen before that plane takes off.
Yeah.
There's like air traffic control and there's a huge checklist. The lake planes, it seems like some guy he cracks a Coors, drinks a couple of those, gets in the plane, and he just takes off and then they just land in the middle of the lake. Like it seems like it's just completely freeballing it.
There's no announcement, nothing.
No.
I mean, like, at least make use of the tornado siren or something when you're coming down. Because if you're just enjoying your life, like, kayaking around or canoeing or whatever. Yeah. I mean, I don't know. It's just something
That's a Midwest way to die for sure.
It
Water
is.
plane.
But anyway, that's what I thought of when you land in a helicopter in a Culver's parking lot. Like, who gave you credit?
Yeah.
Who said that's okay?
I have a pitch for you for a sketch idea. Your podcast listeners are going to get a behind-the-scenes look at the creative process here.
The creative genius.
Yeah,
yes.
the geniuses at work here. The Midwest Olympics.
Yes. In fact,
You're already on it.
I did it in 2018.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
It's been done.
Synchronized, what was it? Synchronized trimming. Oh, I love it. I was thinking all Olympics. What Olympic thing was I going to do? And I just got other, and I didn't end up doing one. But I do have to, I think for the next Olympics, the Winter Olympics, I do have to do a redux. Because I did summer last time. Winter would be a lot more fun.
And it's only in 2 years instead of 4.
Yeah, is it 2 years away?
Yeah, up 2 years away.
Yeah, you have to do the de-icing the windshield challenge. You know who can do it the fastest?
Yeah,
with
now
a
we're
credit card.
Yeah.
Now, thank you for that.
And the states are just the countries, obviously.
Yeah, that's perfect.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that's good.
From Minnesota, representing, and you got Viking stuff or whatever.
That's all I like. Well, when that happens, we should do it.
Let's do it.
Let's do it.
Sounds
Boom,
good.
collab
Cool. I'll be
done.
Minnesota, Wisconsin, be Iowa or something.
Something lesser than
Yeah, you can be
100%.
something other,
Yeah. Last question.
Okay.
Do you guys like Iowa being Minnesota? Do you like Iowa or not? Or do you have a beef? Who do you have the biggest beef with state-wise?
Ooh. Man, I would probably say Wisconsin.
Wisconsin?
Yeah.
Because we're so much better than you guys, and the Packers are so much better than the Vikings, and it's jealousy. We have
let me
better
tell
cheese,
you,
better beer.
There's something to that.
Let me
What
just
is
tell
it?
you who has the upper hand in this debate. We sent our exes packing back to Wisconsin, okay?
Well, I would like to talk to them. There's two sides in every relationship story.
Yeah, he doesn't sit down with
Yeah.
them. We just get obliterated, completely
Yeah.
destroyed. They're the nicest,
Yeah.
kindest people. They're just
That was the only reason we dated them, was to just cause a couple people from Wisconsin a little, pain. The families, we knew it would echo through Wisconsin.
That's like Midwest vindiction right there.
yeah, exactly.
yeah. You would say Illinois, probably.
I would say Illinois. Would you say Illinois?
No, I'm saying.
Oh,
like,
I'm saying what
Yeah.
Illinois. I mean,
Is the
the
Fizz.
Bears.
Yeah, Bears.
I can't get. I mean, and as much as I dislike the Vikings, it does not hold a candle to the Bears.
100%. Yeah.
But anyways, look, good luck this season.
Thank you.
It's going to be another rough one.
It's going to be a tough one.
It's going to be tough.
But God bless, and I thank you both for all your losses.
Yes. No problem. We'll keep them coming.
Yeah. Awesome. Thanks, guys.
Yes, thank you.
Yes, thank you.
That is it for this week's episode of the Cripescast. Huge thanks to Content Machine, to Tyler and Michael for chit-chatting. Make sure you follow them on Instagram at @the_content_machine or on YouTube at content_machine. And again, follow us at all our platforms at Cripescast, anywhere you get your podcasts. Thank you all for listening. Thanks to Colleen Maraca for producing. Thanks to Hannah Milos for editing. It's a wonderful deal. And thanks again to all of you for listening. Honest to Pete. Really brings a tear to my eye. All right, before this turns into a Midwest goodbye, we will see you next week, and watch for deer.
So roll out the barrel and get the band brewing. Life's got you down, just keep her moving. It's on Wisconsin, the Badgers say it's the old Wisconsin Jubilee. Sometimes when you're ice fishing, you put your foot in the walleye hole and go ass over tea kettle and you think you're done. No, you gotta keep her moving.